Welcome back to Relax and Learn Guitar. I'm Kevin, and yes, we named our dog Maggie May after this great Rod Stewart song. In this lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to play it. We're going to break down the intro, and I'll show you guys a way to kind of strum and pick some strings in between that sound pretty good. This is more of a solo version of this great song. We're not going to cover the really amazing kind of guitar intro that happens before the song kicks in. This is more for like playing the acoustic guitar by yourself, kind of accompanying yourself. So we're going to start with a D chord. You have a D chord in the intro, an E minor 7, and a G. And we're going to play this G with 4 fingers. We're going to use our ring finger here on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, headed to that G chord. And to check out a video where I show you the 8 most important chords to learn when you start playing the guitar, many of those chords are in this song. Vicki will leave a link in the description below for you. You can check that out when you're finished with this lesson. So to break this down to the most basics, you could do this strum pattern. So I'm just going down, down, up, down, up, down, up. If you're counting it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on each chord. Starts on a D, E minor 7, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, down, up, D. Plays that twice, that chord progression twice. Then there's a quick 2 down strums on the G. Wake up right before he starts singing. Now to spice it up a little bit, how I was playing at the very beginning of this video. It's not super precise. What I'm doing there on that D, I'm just doing the strum pattern. But when I get to that E minor 7, I'm just kind of tickling the high string. So I'm strumming down once on that E minor 7. And I'm still kind of strumming down ups, but I'm just kind of individually picking, and it can be any string here, 1, 2, or 3, and it's going to sound good. Same thing with that G. Make sure you get that first strum in before you start tickling those high strings. Wake up, Maggie, I think. We get into that verse.
How often do you think we sing these lyrics?
Oh my gosh.
Throughout the day with her?
All the time. So Maggie May is a joy to be around, and we don't wake her up like that every morning, but we do sing this song a lot because it just comes into our mind. So anyway, after those G's, we're going to do the verse here, and it starts on an A. Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Now, I'm not a singer, but I am going to sing a little bit during this lesson just to get the point across. For the rest of the song, we're going to use this strum pattern though, because it works really well, and it's one you can strum and also sing along to. So I'm just doing down, 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 up, down, up. So the chord progression for this verse is going to begin with an A to a G to a D. The A gets 1 strum pattern, the G gets 1 strum pattern, and the D gets 2 strum patterns. So this is the wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. And that repeats. It's late September and I really should be back at school. So remember A, G, and D twice. They begin to, because it's kind of a long verse and there's several verses in this song, so we're going to kind of break these verses down into sections. So we have that A, G, and D part. The next comes a G, D, G, A, and that's the I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used. And those are just 1 strum pattern per chord there. And then we get into kind of the second part of the verse, in my opinion, taking an E minor and moving it up 2 frets, a whole step. But it is played as a bar chord, so if you can play the bar chord, you can get kind of that whole full sound. You could choose to play it as a power chord and not really worry too much about barring that entire first fret. If you're doing that, just play those bass strings, strings 6, 5, and 4, if you're kind of making a bar or a power chord out of it. And it's only happening there once, so it's not like a ton. Might be a pretty good song actually to tackle your first bar chord. Nice transition from playing songs with all open chords and moving into bar chords, since there's only one in this song. Back to that E minor, to A. And now we're going to alternate this E minor and A a bunch. It's the, you lured me away from home just to save you from being alone. Yeah, you stole my heart, and that's what really hurts. Ends on a D with 2 strum patterns. So I'll do it from the beginning, and I'll kind of slow it down, and I'll just kind of call out the chords as we go. So it starts on that A. Wake up, Maggie, G, I got something to D to you twice. It's A, September, and I G should be D at school twice. G, I keep you a D, but I G, I'm B and A. Oh, E minor, I couldn't have F sharp minor, back to E minor, then A. You E minor me away from A, just to E minor again, then A. You E minor my heart, and A what really D. Such a great story that he tells in this song. Good stuff. Now I'll show you a couple of ways you can kind of embellish this a little bit if you like. You can make it, you can stay with the basics and do that intro, kind of like we talked about, which is down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's going to sound fine. And you can do the verse. There really isn't like a chorus in this song, just several verses, and we'll talk about the solo here in a second. Let me show you one thing you can do in this verse if you want to kind of mix it up a little bit. It's going to take place on this D chord. So you have, wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Now, really pretty and not that difficult to do. We're going to strum down up on that D chord. We're just going to be intermixing a couple of different chords by just changing one of our fingers. So we're going to start on that D, then you're going to, and these all take place on the up strums of that pattern. So real slow it's going to be. And all I'm doing there is I'm putting my pinky down onto the third fret first string for a D sus4 shape. Back to the D. I'm lifting up my middle finger off of that first string, that's a D sus2, and then back to the D shape. You're just kind of moving through that. D, pinky, D, middle finger up, back to D. It's just a little thing you can do. It happens twice there at the end of those phrases with that D. It's late September and I really should be back at school. So it basically takes the place of that second strum pattern on that D. So I hope you found this lesson helpful and you can break down this amazing song and sound great doing it on the acoustic guitar. And that cool intro and great story. Want to check out another great song that sounds great on acoustic guitar? I've got an easy version of Hotel California. You can check that out here and add that to your set list. As always, Maggie and Vicky and I thank you very much for your support and viewership here on YouTube. We look forward to seeing you for the next lesson. Until then, remember, you're never too old to learn.